Why not try to...
Teachers and professors who were fired for exercising their First Amendment right to criticize Charlie Kirk, some of them are being reinstated, and many of them are suing, and a lot of them have good cases. After Charlie Kirk was killed, there were a lot of people who were expressing their feelings about Charlie Kirk. Some of them were good, some of them were bad. There were many teachers, professors, people just within the community who were expressing how they felt about him. There were a lot of people who were reposting his statements about, preserving the Second Amendment, meaning that some people were going to have to be hurt. There were a lot of people who were reposting his statements about not being empathetic and how it's weak to be empathetic. Those posts were getting people fired. And it was really because of a lot of the political pressure from the Trump administration and other elected officials in these cities and states where these people were being fired. Once the dust settled, what these schools realized was that they jumped the gun and they made a mistake. These teachers had the First Amendment right, the protection of the First Amendment right to say what they wanted to say. And many of them were posting these things on their own social media platforms. And so then these schools started saying, we got to reinstate these people. So they started doing that. Well, a lot of these people had already kind of, gone and obtained counsel and decided, I'm going to sue these institutions for letting me go for something that is protected by my First Amendment right. And so I've seen at least 5 of these cases now where either teachers in K through 12 or professors in higher education are suing these institutions for letting them go. And in a couple of cases, the teachers have already been reinstated. I haven't seen any cases that have already been adjudicated or anything like that, but there are a few that are going through the process. And it's crazy because a lot of people will point out that Charlie Kirk was killed for expressing his First Amendment right. But they want people's opinion of him, those same people who are expressing their First Amendment right, they want those opinions to be, suppressed and have these people lose their jobs for expressing those opinions, exactly what they said Charlie Kirk shouldn't have been killed for. And a lot of the things that many of these people were saying were not things that they should ever be fired for. And in none of the cases that I've seen have they been celebrating anyone's death. Many of them have spoken about how they don't mourn, the death of a racist. You can have whatever opinion you want. You can twist yourself into any pretzel you want. But we've proven on this channel multiple times that Charlie Kirk is a racist. So when someone says, I'm not going to mourn a racist, they have that right. And these schools are going to find themselves in a whole lot of trouble because they allowed the Trump administration and other elected officials to make them make decisions that are now going to be detrimental to their bottom line.
Welcome to Today in Alabama. I'm Jasmine Williams.
And I'm Jed Davis. So glad you're with us. Happy Friday. We start this morning. A former Auburn professor is now suing the university. Candace Hale was fired from Auburn after making comments about the death of Charlie Kirk on social media. Hale was with the College of Liberal Arts, and she's accusing Auburn of violating her First Amendment rights to free speech. The lawsuit says the day after Kirk was assassinated in Utah, Hale posted on social media, quote, I do not mourn oppressors. Hale says the post did not threaten or condone violence, and she wants her job back.
And I want to read you exactly what she posted. She said, I do not mourn oppressors. I do not show them empathy. I don't give a damn about evil, racist, fascist, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, mediocre white men who claim to be Christian and then do everything Christ would not do on earth. That is what she said. Those words are not fireable offenses, especially for someone who works in the public sector and is protected by the First Amendment. These schools jumped the gun, and they deserve everything that they're going to get because, one, they're going to have to reinstate every single one of these people because the Trump administration and J.D. Vance and them were out there saying if anyone is out there celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, they should be fired. They didn't think about these people's First Amendment rights. They didn't think about their contracts, nothing like that. But these schools decided to take those, that directive from the administration, and they went out there and did it. So yes, They're going to have to reinstate these people. They're going to have to pay these people. And they're going to have to make sure they never make these mistakes again, because it was dumb. It was childish of the administration to try and demand that from people. And it was absolutely ignorant of these institutions to make these dumbass decisions. And so every single one of them is going to get exactly what they deserve. And I'm here for it. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.